You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone doing today? Today is Saturday, July 27th, 2024. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win. This is the Men Lie, Women Lie, but numbers, what do numbers do? Numbers manipulate. Yes. Numbers manipulate. You know the saying, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That is not true. Numbers manipulate, because guess who manipulates numbers? It's the men and the women. And we just make the data say what we want it to say. So even if the data is the data, the math is the math, but we can always make it say what we want it to say. So this is our weekly economic review, breaking it down, making it easy to understand so we can be knowledgeable on our own and we do not have to fall victim to the people who try to manipulate us into believing what they say, or randomly wiping out records saying people never had certain titles and stuff like that. What in the world? No, we're not gonna.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
We're not doing that. We are not doing that. We will look at the facts and we will believe our own very eyes. All right. Let's not get manipulated by the numbers, by the men and the women who are lying to us so that we can look like Boo Boo the Fool. All right. So today we're going to be reviewing we have like 5 things to review today, all right? So we'll go through that and we'll take breaks in between, see what's going on, see if there's any thoughts or comments from the chat, all that good stuff. So let's do some quick housekeeping real quick. Do me a favor on your way in, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every time that we go live and drop new content. Let me go ahead and put my little reminder up. All right, cool. So with that being said, if you need coaching, which I had a call this morning and I see it helped, like the projects that I put you in to work on, the real projects that people can actually see and use and stuff like that. As we navigate through it, I can see what pain points that you have and where you need to work on, because I'm telling you this, right? Companies are not going to be just taking random chances on you. You have to be ready to work. And if you are not, then you will not get that opportunity. So I put you in a position to be ready to work. And then we also look for the jobs and stuff like that to help you get there. But if you think you're gonna just apply for every little thing that's out there and then hopefully I don't live off hope, right? Hopefully you're gonna get one. You are sadly mistaken. So I would urge you, get a coach. Doesn't have to be me because I don't always have capacity. I don't always accept everyone, but get a coach, figure out where you're lacking and build on that. All right. It's been about an hour this morning before, like at 7 a.m. Eastern time on a call so that we can fix someone's code, their repo, like all the stuff that they're doing to get them right so that, and how to work within a team. So I'm actually that's going to be my kind of conversations for Monday on the limitations and why you are not getting to where you want to be. And guess what? It is all your fault. It's all your fault. All your fault. All right. So, but you can fix it. You can fix it if you are willing to. All right. Now, we're going to get into this. We got my guy in the building. We got Mitch in the building. Said to let me hold something. Mitch, I will let you hold something if you let me borrow your Lamborghini. Vroom, vroom.
Let's get it.
All right. So we are going to get started with our show for today. Let's get into, I have my Urban Dictionary of Economic Data up. I have the numbers that we're going to be reviewing, all that good stuff. So as we jump oh my goodness, bitch. You have to say it 3 times, bitch. You have to say it 3 times, all right? It's only valid if you say it 3 times, all right? So let's get into our show for today. So, and remember, next week we do not have, well, I will be doing the morning show with Joseph from Techniques Tips on their channel. I might stream it to my channel as well, but that's going to be the only live show that I'm doing next week because I am filling for our good friend Trey. But after that, no shows for the rest of the week. I will be back the week after, and we are going to be zooming through the rest of the year. No days off, unless I'm like too sick. But other than that, no days off, right? So let's jump into it. All right, let's take a look. So let's take a look at the LinkedIn one first. I wonder if there's a sound for I beg your pardon. Let me see what I can find here. None of the I beg your pardon sound good. What? None of them sound good. I tried, Mitch. I tried. All right. So let's get into it. So, all right. Numbers to watch for this week. This was from Monday. It says inflation will be a focus this week when the Federal Reserve favored gauge is expected to show that prices moderated for a second month in June. The U.S. Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, excluding volatile items such as fuel, likely rose at an annual rate of 2.6% last month and down from 2.6% in May. Although fuel is super, super important and because we decided that it's not worth producing our own oil and fuel because of whatever reason, we're going to get it from other places who are always at war with each other. We exclude it. And I wonder what it is. Would it make it go up? It's probably going to say it in the report. We shall find out. But let's keep going. All right. So excluding the volatile items such as fuel, likely rose at an annual rate of 2.5% last month and down 2.6% in May. A market watch survey showed the Fed has targeted 2% inflation and said that it will start to cut interest rates when it's confident that price growth is firmly headed in that direction. Mitch, what does it mean by targeting 2% inflation? Because I always hear, all right, let's see something real quick. Let's pivot real quick. What is the inflation rate? All right. As of July 11, 2024, the annual inflation rate in the United States for the 12 months ending in June was 3%. This is a decrease from the previous rate increase of 3.3%. The next inflation update is scheduled for August 14th at 8:30. The basic, all right. How is the inflation rate changed? The inflation rate changes in response to different phases in the business cycle and can be caused by many factors. Monetary, when the money supply grows too large, the Federal Reserve uses monetary to control inflation, keep at an annual target rate of 2%. All right. Okay. And Mitch also said it means they want to keep it low. But that's just what they're saying. Yeah, you know, they be saying all a bunch of stuff, right? Okay, so let's keep reading. So let's see. We have all right. So we're going to be reviewing from Tuesday, July 23rd, the National Association of Realtors releasing the monthly report measuring number of existing homes sold in June. Then from Wednesday, U.S. Census Bureau released the housing market indicators for the number of new single-family homes sold in June. And then Thursday, we have Bureau of Economic Analysis releasing a preliminary gross domestic product reading for the second quarter. And then we have the U.S. Department of Labor released initial jobless claims from the previous week. And then we have the U.S. Census Bureau monthly report on durable goods. And then we have Friday, we have the U.S. Department of Commerce releasing the June's Personal Consumption Expenditure Price Index. And lastly, we have the University of Michigan releasing the July Consumer Sentiment Index, which is how people feel about the economy. So let's get into so let's start off with, so let's look at Bloomberg real quick. And Bloomberg, let's do a quick summary of the stuff. So we have existing homes sold. The forecast was 3.99 million. The actual sold was 3.89 million, and the previous sold was 4.11 million. I am so worried. I don't know about you, Mitch, but I'm very, very worried about the housing market because of the interest rates on the houses. Also, I remember around 2007, 2008, 2009, the amount that people were paying for houses, and then especially people who could not afford those houses. I knew people who the whole family was taking payday advance loans, which some people consider as predatory. I do not. But they were taking payday advance loans, and then the whole family would take it, but they would pull all their money to buy a house at the adjustable interest rate and all that type of stuff. And 2-3 years later, they could barely keep up with their rent payments, but then they would end up buying a home. The home they bought was the home they were renting for years, and then they bought it at full value. It was totally crazy, right? But then they ended up losing the house anyways because they couldn't pay it. So it's like, I just have a fear that the housing market is going to take a big tumble. But if it does, then hopefully my property taxes and my insurance can go down significantly. Just a hope of mine. Just a hope. Just a hope. All right. Anyways, let's keep going. All right. So we have this number. We're going to go through the are we going through we're not going through manufacturing PMI. We're going to be going through new homes sold, durable goods, GDP, jobless claims, and personal consumption expenditure. All right. So let's get into it. All right. So the National Association of Realtors, let's take a look. Let's do a quick look at what is the National Association of Realtors. Why is that important, right? So let me zoom in on this one as well. Let's close that. All right. So National Association of Realtors, NAR, report on existing homes sold. The National Association of Realtors report on existing homes sold is a monthly report that tells us how many houses and apartments that people have lived in before are being sold. When someone buys a house that isn't brand new, it's called an existing home. This report keeps track of these sales to show us whether more or fewer homes are being sold compared to the previous months. It's like a big scorecard for home sales across the country. This report is important because it helps us understand what's happening in the housing market and the overall economy. When a lot of existing homes are being sold, it usually means people are feeling good about buying and selling homes, which is a positive sign for the economy. It can also show if home prices are going up or down. If fewer homes are being sold, it might mean people are worried about money and not buying as much. This information helps economists, real estate agents, and the government make decisions about things like interest rates and housing policies, just like how knowing the weather helps you decide what to wear or bring to school or to work, etc. Right? So let's see what this report tells us then. So pretty much housing sales are down negative 5.4%. So let's read. In June 2024, existing home sales fell as the median sales price climbed to the highest price ever recorded. So the homes that were sold went down, but the median price went up. What is the median, right? So let's go back to what? Fourth grade math, maybe? When do we learn about mean and about mean, median, etc.? Is that fourth grade? I don't know. So median, right in the middle. Mean is the average. So like you take all the homes that were sold and then you divide all the homes that were sold by the total amount that were sold by, you get the mean. But the median is like right in the middle. So what is the middle price that was sold for? And we'll find out, right? All four major U.S. regions posted sales declines. Year over year, sales waned in the Northeast, Midwest, and South, but were unchanged in the West. We're seeing a slow shift from a seller's market to a buyer's market, said NAR chief economist Lawrence Yun. Homes are sitting on the market a bit longer and sellers are receiving fewer offers. More buyers are insisting on home inspections and appraisals, and inventory is definitely rising on a national basis. I think it is absolutely crazy for people not to insist on appraisals and home inspections, but some people would like to live on the wild side. So let's keep going. Let's see. The existing home sales data measures the prices of existing home sale we already read that. Let's see. So existing homes are let me see what else we got. So data. All right, overview. Current sales, actual, total, and median. All right, hold on. Breakout and single. Where is the actual? Let's say full release. Let me see. All right, existing home sales slipped 5.4% in June. Median sales price jumped to record high of to 426,900. I think it was at like 417,000 last month. All right, so we read that. The inventory of unsold existing homes rose 3.1% from the previous month to 1.32 million at the end of June, or equivalent to 4.1 month supply at the current monthly sales pace. So existing home sales fell in June as the median sale. We read that. All four already read that. Total existing homes, completed transactions that include single-family homes, townhomes, condominiums, and co-ops receded 5.4% from May to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 3.89 million in June. Year over year, sales also dropped 5.4%, down from 411 million in June 2023. We read that part already. We read that part. More buyers. All right, we read that part. Total housing inventory registered at the end of June was 1.32 million, up 3.1 in May and 23.4% from a year ago. So that means from June of 2023 to June of 2024, comparing and contrasting the two, there are 23.4% available, like total housing inventory, right? 1.07 million. All right. So unsold inventory sits at 4.1% or 4.1 month supply at the current sales pace, up 3.7 months in May and 3.1 in June. So yeah, it's getting a little rough out there. It's getting rough out there. The last time unsold inventory posted 4 month supply was May of 2020, right in the kind of middle of the pandemic, early middle of the pandemic, right? The median existing home, actually in Florida, we were getting ready to open up. I think Florida started opening up in like June, the last week of May, I think. The median existing home price for all housing types in June was $426,900, an all-time high, an increase of 4.1 from 1 year ago, $410,000. All four regions registered price gains, even as median home prices reach new record highs. Further large accelerations are unlikely, Yun added. Supply and demand dynamics are nearly a balanced market condition. The month's supply of inventory reached its highest level in more than 4 years. Realtors Confidence Index. According to the monthly Realtors Confidence Index, properties typically remain on the market for 22 days in June, down from 24 days in May, but up 18 days in June 2023. First-time buyers were responsible for 29% of sales in June, down from 31% in May, but up 27% in June 2023. People are still, oh my God, like, I don't know how people are buying homes so expensive. Found that annual share of first-time home buyers was 32%. Let's see. All cash sales accounted for 28% of transactions in June, unchanged from May and up from 26% 1 year ago. Individual investors or second home buyers make up many cash sales, purchased 16% of homes in June, identical to May and down 18% in June 2023. Distressed sales, foreclosures and short sales represented 2% of sales in June, unchanged from last month and the previous year. Whew, that's going to be interesting. According to Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate averaged 6.77% as of July 18th. That's down 6.89% 1 week ago and 6.78% 1 year ago. So this is the 30-year fixed mortgage rate. How about those people who have those adjustable mortgage rates, right? Where it's like they might have got it for low, and then let's say it's ending around now, where they're going into like a six. Like let's say they were like at a 3% 5 years ago, right? That's about 5 years ago, or maybe, and now they're going into like 7% as it gets adjusted. Ooh, imagine the price increase on that. Single family home sales retracted to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 3.52 million in June, down 5.1% from 3.71 million in May and 4.3% from the prior year. The median existing home single home price was 432,700 in June, up 4.1% from June 2023. So, single family homes were 432, which is above the 426 median. Existing condominiums and co-op sales tumbled 7.5% in June to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 370,000 units, down 14% from 1 year ago, 430 units. The median existing condo price was 371,700 in June, up 2.6% from the previous year of 362,000. Regional breakdowns. Existing homes sales in the Northeast in June withdrew 2.1% from May to an annual rate of 470,000, a decline of 6% from June 2023. The median price in the Northeast was $521,500, up 9.7% from the year earlier. In the Midwest, existing home sales decreased 8% from 1 month ago to an annual rate of 920,000 in June, down 6.1% from the prior year. The median price in the Midwest was $327,100, up 5.5% from June 2023. Existing home sales in the South slid 5.9% from May to an annual rate of 1.76 million in June, down 6.9% from the 1 month from 1 year before. The median price in the South, with an F, S-O-U-F, the South, was 373,000, up. Why is this so small? What the heck is going on over here? Let's make that bigger. That's embarrassing. What's going on over here with that? Let's pause that for a second. Sorry for me getting distracted, but I don't like that at all. What happened to you? There we go. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. All right, cool. Let me lock that as well. Let's not do that again. All right. Let's not do that again. All right, cool. We got it. So, let's keep going. Cool. All right. Let's see where we're at. In the West, existing home sales declined 2.6% in June to an annual rate of 740,000, identical to a year ago. The median price in the West was 629,800, up 3.5% from June 2023. So the cheapest houses are in the Midwest. Shout out to the Midwest. And second up is the South with the F at the end. And then we go to the Northeast and then the West, right? So, and you got California, you got Oregon, you got Washington. I'm pretty sure though, I don't think Colorado's considered the West, but pretty sure those three states contribute to the high prices over there. And then in the Northeast, you got New York, you got Massachusetts, you got Jersey. Is it expensive in Pennsylvania? I don't think it's, I really don't know much about Pennsylvania, but I know New York, I know Jersey, and I know Massachusetts can be quite expensive. All right. So anyways, that is our report on the existing home. So let's go back to full screen and let's take a look at the Chizat and see what we got going on here. So we got my guy in the building, Ferris. What's up, Ferris? What's good, Ferris? How are you doing? Are you going to get some rest today? Because I know you've been working like a demon over there with your 10 jobs. So hopefully you get some rest today. Let's see. So Mitch had also said about the inflation. They want to keep it stable over time, as we know this, but when will this happen? That is the mystery that we are all trying to figure out. All right. So it says, but it also deals with income. Wages would only go up 2% a year. Oh, I see. So, and that's why like when you get like those merit increases at work, they can't even keep up with the price of inflation a lot of times, because a lot of times, like, you get 1%, 2%, 3%. And if 2% is going to inflation, you're getting a 1% like for actually doing good work. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough, right? So people can't even afford rent. It's crazy. Yeah, rent is crazy. The rent is too damn high. It says no property taxes will be higher when who else is going to pay for it? You think if the housing market tanks, right? That means the value of your property is going to be a lot lower as well. So that has to bring the property taxes down. Is what I would assume. And I'm trying to get my property taxes locked in at a very, very low rate, because in Florida, I think there's some type of law that your property taxes can't go up more than 3%. So I have neighbors who their property taxes are like less than $1,500 a month. I mean, a year, less than $1,500 a year. So like when you end up buying a house, like right now, you might be looking at property taxes for like $7,000 a year, plus insurance for like another $10,000 a year. So it's crazy. And Ferris says, I don't think it'll go down if everyone defaulting broke. What do you like? You don't think what's going to go down? The property taxes or the house or the cost of housing? Because back in like 08, 09, like when like all the way between like 2009 all the way to like 2015, houses were like pretty cheap, at least down here. And that's how people were able to lock in some very affordable property taxes, that means more risk, so it'll go up. You mean the insurance? Which one are you referring to, Ferris? The insurance or the taxes? Because I'm talking about the taxes, right? So I don't know. And it says, and guess what? about the insurance, right? If people default on their homes, then their policies get canceled, and that's less liability on the insurance companies, which in turn can make the insurance prices go down as well. In my uninformed opinion, but that's how I see that if you have 100 people on your insurance, right, and they're all risky, and you get rid of like 50 of them, then you have 50% less risk from what I would say. Let's see. So Mitch said it was in 5th grade or the 4th grade that we learned the mean and the median. All right. And Mitch says 426,000 for average home prices, shaking my damn head.
Bruh.
I hear you, Mitch. I hear you. And says they are buying with FHA loans. I think where you only need 3 to 5% down, but that mortgage payment will still be about $2,000 to $2,400. Not realizing that's only for the mortgage. And with the FHA loans, right? Because the idea of everyone, let me put my feeling sound, right? Everyone deserves a home, right? Because everyone deserves a home. So now you're going to be putting less money down to get into a home with a higher mortgage, and nowadays you're going to get a higher interest rate. But even with right, insurance, the mortgage, but don't forget the forced PMI that you have on the duration of your FHA loan. Like, so if you don't refinance after X amount of years, then that you're paying that extra PMI for like the entire duration, you know? So, it's tough. It's tough. All right. Let's see. So Mitch says New Jersey is high. I figured. Pennsylvania is not too bad, but high too. Okay. I'm probably certain parts of Pennsylvania might not be too bad, but I don't know. I don't know much about Pennsylvania. Maryland, certain areas are high too. I can see that. And merit increases, you are already losing. They are paying less than $1,500, Mitch, and it just depends on when you actually bought the place, because if you bought the place when the houses were, if you bought your house, right, when prices were like, you got your that is what they're calculating your taxes on. So now when they're increasing your taxes year per year, 3%, 2 to 3% of 1,500 is like not that much compared to if you bought it when it was like 250, 300,000. And you're paying like $4,000. So 3 to 4% on, or 2 to 3% on that is higher. So they're able to go higher every year, you know? So that's the whole ordeal with that, you know? But now if the value of your property drops and when they assess the taxes, then you can get locked in at a lower tax rate, so that now when it goes up year over year, it's not going to be like crazy, you know? Let's see. Ferris says, true Americans revolt over taxes. Okay, go ahead, Ferris, go ahead. And says, it depends on the area you live in. Yeah, that makes sense. FHA isn't a bad strategy if you do it right, but now I think it's bad. So I agree with you. It's not a bad strategy if you do it right, but here's a question. How many people do it right? It says, but even refinance, do you keep your house? Like, do you still want to stay there? I mean, it depends. I know a lot of people who refinance to get out of FHA, but the thing is, if you don't want to stay there, right? I don't know. It's like a lot of people, they end up like moving and stuff, but they can't afford the house that they're in, but then they end up going and buying a more expensive house that they really can't afford. It reminds me of this, right? When people are in a relationship and it is like so bad and like they're always fighting and toxic and stuff like that. So what do they decide to do? What do they decide to do, huh? They have a baby. And it gets worse. So now they're fighting more. They have a kid to deal with, all that type of stuff. So what do they do from there? They get married.
Bruh.
So that's, I don't know, the decisions people make, I don't know. All right, so let's see what else. Or just sell it. That's a good question. That is a good question. Where is your car, huh? That's a good question. Your car is out of town. He's at a meetup, right? So we will probably not see him today because he was probably partying out late last night with his people. So we'll see. And Mitch got it. Mitch got it, right? They get married or they have a child, right? And Ferris says, I mean, what you expect living your life backwards don't make results, right? Totally right. Anyways, we're going to get into our next thing for our next topic for today. Let's go over to, we're looking at the U.S. Census Bureau releasing the key housing market indicators, including the new numbers of single family homes sold in June. All right, so let me close this one. Let's take, all right, so why is this one important, right? Let's take a look at this one. So, not this one, where is it? All right, so the U.S. Census Bureau report on housing indicators. So the U.S. Census Bureau is part of the U.S. government that collects and provides data about people and the economy. One of their reports gives us information about housing indicators. This includes things like how many houses are being built, how many houses are being sold, and what price they are being sold for. Why is this important? It's an economic health check. Just like with retail goods, housing is a big part of the economy. If lots of houses are being sold, it means the economy is doing well. People are confident enough to buy homes and builders are busy working. It creates jobs. Building houses creates jobs for construction workers, electricians, plumbers, and many others. If more houses are being built, it means more job opportunities. It helps with business decisions. Companies involved in building and selling homes use this report to make decisions. If they see a lot of new homes are being sold, they might invest more in the construction material or hire more workers. It's also for investment opportunities. Investors are looking for housing indicators to decide where they will put their money. If the housing market is strong, they might invest in real estate or companies that build homes. Now, why should you care about this report? So let's say you're not looking to buy a house, right? Or to build a house. It can still affect you. And here's how. So if many people are buying houses, the prices might go up. This can be good if you or your family own a home because it becomes more valuable. Rent prices, the report also can affect rent prices. If fewer houses are being built, there might be less housing available, which could make renting more expensive. I don't know. I always see, like, whether houses are being sold, built or not, I still see rent getting expensive, right? And how come the prices always go up, never down? Huh? How come they always go up, never down? And neighborhood development, if the report shows a lot of new homes being built, it could mean new neighborhoods and communities are growing, which can bring new schools, parks, and stores to your area. And then economic stability. A healthy housing market is a sign of a strong economy. This stability can make it easier for families to plan for the future, get loans, and feel secure in their jobs. All right. So that's the report that we're going to be reviewing. And shout out to my guy, Big Suggs, in the building. Where's that? Good morning, Big Suggs. How are you doing today? Hopefully all is well on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning. All right. So let's get into this report then. So monthly new residential sales, June of 2024. New homes sold was 617,000. New homes sold, new houses for sale, 476,000. The median sales price is 417,300, and this is 417,300 for new homes sold or for sale. Our next release is going to be August 23rd, 2024. All right, so new homes sold. All right, so sales of new single-family houses in June were at a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 617,000, according to estimates released jointly today by the U.S. Census Bureau and the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD for short. This is 0.6%, plus or minus 14.6% below the revised May rate of 621,000, and is 7.4%, plus or minus 15.2%. below June 2023 estimates of 666,000. So in May it was 621,000, and here we have 617,000, right? The median is right in the middle. Sales price of new homes sold in June 2024 was 417,300. The average sales price was 487,000. Average, the mean, is the total amount of new homes sold, the total cost of new homes sold. Like you add them all together, and then you divide that by the total amount, and you get your average. The median is like if there's like 100 houses sold from $0 to $100, right there in the middle, like the whatever that number is in the middle, that's going to be the median. So it's like if 20 houses sold for $1, right, and then another 20, or let's say 20, so another 29 sold for $2, and then a house sold for 50, the 50th house sold for 50, and then from 29 or from 51 all the way to 100 is different numbers. That median, that 50 is going to be your median sales price, right? For sales inventory and months supply, the seasonally adjusted estimate of new houses for sale at the end of June was 476,000. This represents a supply of 9.3 months at the current sales rate. And this is 9.3 months of new homes. So existing homes was 4.1 months. For new homes, it's 9.3 months of the current sales rate. All right. So hopefully that provided some effective value. Let's check the chat, and then we're going to continue with this. All right. So it says, Mitch says that he is on a PIP. I assume that you were talking to your car, about your car. Not with me. I don't, I would not put your car on a PIP. He is living his best life right now. All right, Mitch, like give him at least one day off. Give your car one day off. Come on. I clap it up for your car. And Mitch says that must be the reason for the drive-through Chipotle. Are there drive-throughs at Chipotle now? Were there always? I can't remember if were there drive-throughs at Chipotle. I don't remember. I don't go to Chipotle much. I don't go to Chipotle much, to be honest with you. And Mitch says that's sick. Sick. You have people that living with each other that hate each other because they can't afford to leave. You know what, Mitch? You know how sorry I feel for them? Do you know how sorry I feel for them? Not one bit.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I'm just saying, like, because number one, why do you have to hate each other? Why do you have to hate each other? Number two, what can you do so that you can afford to leave? Just saying. And he says, I remember when you could find a nice 3 to 4 for like 135 to 180K. Where was that? I know you're not talking about in Jersey. Are you talking about in Jersey? I know they used to have some of those down here in Florida, but Jersey, I don't know. Let's see. And oh my goodness, why do we have to do this? No, we're not. We're not gonna do that. Right? We're not going to do that. And it says there are some drive. Okay, cool. I'm not too familiar with Chipotle. It says I'm going to be honest. I'm starting to leave those. What? What? Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, we just had a breakthrough. Mitch, my brother, my people, Mitch. See now, Mitch, you are almost once you've completed to leave those people behind, then you will officially be my people. Shout out to Mitch. You know, I knew you. See, like, that's what I'm saying. It is too much of a headache,
Bruh.
See, I told you, Mitch. I used to have those headaches way back in the days, but I got rid of those migraines really quick. You know what?
We the best.
I know. It can only last for so long. You know. I'm just saying. All right. Anyways. You know that deserves a. Ferris says you got rid of what? not migrants, Ferris. Not migrants. I got rid of migraine people, right? Migraine people, right? You know, and I got rid of migraine people, right? So I'm just saying. I built a wall. That's what I did. I built a wall. You know, I'm just saying. So it's only me within my four corners, and I figure it out. All right, and I only let my people in, and they must have ID, so I can verify who I'm letting in. All right. So and it is not. I repeat, it is not a democracy. It is not a democracy. Nope. It's not a democracy. Sorry. But to be fair, we also saw that the public nominations is also not a democracy, because people with absolutely zero, a big fat zero zilch nada votes, can also become the presidential nominee for their party. And Mitch says, Ralph, you are older. I'm learning from the OG. It's Singtumplet OG, you know, it's like 50 OG. I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, let's get to it. Let's read this one. Let's read this last one. Mitch says, don't get me started on that. That is such a good one. Mitch, isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? They're telling you, listen, this right here is the most qualified ever to do it. So what if back 4 years ago, they had less than 2% of the votes from all the states? But this is the best to ever do it. All right. And you are going to take it. Choice, right? I remember, like, there's a big thing about choice. However, there was no choice.
Bruh.
Anyways, let's focus on our news and our economy. All right, our booming economy, like the best economy that we've ever had in the history of the United States. And first says, we live in nepotism, not democracy. We learn this faster. When we learn this faster, we will win faster. You know what, Ferris? You're gonna get this. You're gonna get this one. Hold on, where is that one? Where is that one that I'm looking for? Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second. You know what? First, you have to give me a second here because this one, it deserves to be played. It deserves to be played. All right. All right, Ferris. I'm going to read that one more time just for you. It says, Ferris says, when we learn this faster, we will win faster.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Yes, let's be addicted to winning. And Mitch has agreed. And do you think those numbers are being manipulated too? I don't think they're being manipulated. I think they're just straight up lying, Mitch. I think they're straight up lying. All right. Anyways, let's get to our next thing because we can go on this forever. You know, of how much crazy stuff that's happening. Right. So we're going to be looking at the preliminary gross domestic product. Mitch, have you seen those compilations of the same people who are saying, no, they were never this. They were saying, you are this, like 2 years ago. Like I can't even. I can't even. Anyways, so the Bureau of Economic Analysis will release a preliminary gross domestic product reading for the second quarter. What is gross domestic product? So, let's see. Gross domestic product. I have it here in our economic dictionary. So, GDP. So GDP is a scorecard for our economy. It tells us the total value of everything, all goods and services produced within a country in 1 year. So breaking it down, goods are things you can touch, see, like cars, books, and toys. Services are activities that people do, like teaching, haircuts, and medical checkups. Why is GDP important? It measures economic health. It helps us understand how our economy is doing. When it's high, it means people are producing and buying a lot of things. When it's low, it means the economy might be in trouble and people might be producing and buying less. So GDP allows us to compare the size and health of different countries and economies and countries' economies. For example, if one country has a higher GDP than another, it generally means it has a stronger economy. Government decisions. Governments use GDP to make important decisions. For example, if GDP is growing, they might decide to build more schools and hospitals. If GDP is shrinking, they might look for ways to boost the economy. Business planning. Businesses look at GDP to decide whether to expand, hire more workers, or invest in new projects. Higher GDP usually means good times for businesses. Low GDP can signal tougher times ahead. And then we broke it down like this. An example to understand GDP. Imagine a dope house, which means a really cool house, right? If your neighborhood cool house stands to make 100 dime bags in a year and and sells each for $10, the GDP of the dope house is $1,000. Combining lots of dope houses. Now imagine if there are 10 dope houses in the neighborhood and they sell all the same amount. The total GDP for all the dope houses is 10,000. This gives us a bigger picture of the neighborhood's dope house economy. So in summary, the GDP is a big scorecard that shows how much stuff a country makes in a year. It's important because it helps understand the health of the economy, compare different countries, and makes decisions for the future. All right. So with that being understood, let's take a look at the GDP information. Close that. Let's go here. So the real gross, so the second quarter 2024 advanced estimates, real gross domestic product increased at an annual rate of 2.8% in the second quarter of 2024. According to the advanced estimate released by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, in the first quarter, real GDP increased 1.4%. See, it's hard to trust the advance because when the actual number comes out, is it going to be like 1.9, 2.1? We'll see. Mitch, what would be a targeted GDP? Because I always hear about 3% or 3% GDP, 3 to 4% is a good number. So 1.4 sounds pretty bad for the first quarter. 2.8% estimated seems to be good. But is it really going to stay there? We shall find out. We shall find out, right? The GDP estimates released today is based on source data that are incomplete or subject to further revision by source agency. The second estimate for the second quarter based on more complete source will be released August 29th, 2024. So 2020, Q3, GDP percent change from preceding quarter. And then 2021, it was down. All right. So the increase in real GDP primarily reflected increase in consumer spending, private inventory investment, and non-residential fixed investments. Imports, which are a subtraction in the calculation of GDP, increased. The increase in consumer spending reflected increases in both services and goods. Within services, the leading contributors were healthcare, housing and utilities, and recreation services. Within goods, the leading contributor were motor vehicles and parts, recreational goods and vehicles, furnishings and durable household equipment, and gasoline and other energy goods. The increase in private inventory investments primarily reflected increases in wholesale trade and retail trade industries that were partly offset by a decreasing in mining, utilities, and construction industries. Within non-residential fixed investments, increases in equipment and intellectual property products were partly offset by a decrease in structures. The increase in imports was led by capital goods, excluding automotive. Compared to the first quarter, the acceleration in real GDP in the second quarter primarily reflected an upturn in private inventory investments and an acceleration in consumer spending. These movements were primarily offset by a downturn in residential fixed investments. Current dollar GDP increased at 5.2% at an annual rate of $360 billion in the second quarter to a level of 28.63 trillion in the first quarter. In the first quarter, GDP increased at 4.5% or 312.2 billion. The price index for gross domestic purchases increased 2.3% in the second quarter compared to an increase of 3.1% in the first quarter. The personal consumption expenditure PCE price index, which we're going to be reviewing later on, increased 2.6% compared to an increase of 3.4%. Excluding food and energy prices, the PCE price index increased 2.9% compared to an increase of 3.7%. Personal income. Current dollar personal income increased to 237.6 billion in the second quarter compared to an increase of 396.8 billion in the first quarter. So it's less. So the personal income increased less in the second quarter than it did in the first quarter. So do we take in less money? Is that what they're saying? The increase primarily reflected increases in compensation and personal current transfer receipts. Disposable personal income increased 186.3 billion or 3.6% in the second quarter compared to an increase of 240.2 billion or 4.8% in the first quarter. Real disposable personal income increased 1% compared with an increase of 1.3%. Personal savings, 720.5 billion in the second quarter compared to 777.3 billion in the first quarter. So more personal savings in the first quarter. The personal saving as a percentage of disposable income was 3.5% in the second quarter compared to 3.8% in the first quarter. So people's personal savings increased less. I wonder, does personal saving include like your 401k? Does it include your investments and things like that, right? Source data for advanced estimates. The GDP estimate released today is based on source data that are incomplete or subject to further revision by the source agency. The information on the source data and key assumptions used in the advanced estimate is provided in a technical note and a detailed key source data and assumptions file posted with the release. The second estimate for the second quarter based on more incomplete data will be released August 29th, 2024. For more information on GDP, refer to additional information section that follows. All right. So that is our GDP information. All right. Let's see what we have in the chat. The fairy said, got you on hold. He called her a bum too. Yeah, while it may or may not be true, it's not necessary, right? It's unfair. Like, all right, Mitch, follow me here, Mitch, right? What would be equality? would it be to treat everyone the same? Or if you do treat everyone the same, then you get attacked for not treating, you get attacked for treating everyone the same. You can't win, but play the game to win. Play the game to win because as said, we should.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
We should be addicted to winning. So play the game to win, but don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap, right? And it says, yeah, money in the Cayman Islands too. Okay, it says, I don't like any them. Hey, it says you can't make it up. Just be empathetic. Come on, empathetic to who or to what? Can you be more specific? And to be honest, that is one of the things that I struggle with the most is being empathetic. But to who or to what? All right. And Ferris says feelings. All right. So let's see what else we have. We have. So I'll tell you this, Ferris. I can be empathetic to a particular person that I am speaking to one-on-one, but on a grand scheme of things, I have trouble just like feeling sorry for people that I don't know and stuff like that. I don't know. It's hard on me. It is hard on me. That's one of my weaknesses, or maybe my strengths. Maybe my strengths. All right. And it says, to all their feelings, treat all the same, but not the same of the feelings of the same, to treat them not the same. That Ferris, you know what, Ferris? Hold on, Ferris. I'm gonna help you out right quick. Right? I'm gonna help you out. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Give me a second, Ferris. Let me see if I can find this. Help you out real quick, Ferris. Let me see. All right. I'm gonna help you out real quick. So, Ferris, we have to be unburdened by what has been. All right? We just have to be unburdened by what has been, okay? I'm just saying. Ferris, it's not that hard. It's not, but we have to be unburdened by what has been. Okay? So, just saying. And Mitch says
Message.
see, but see, and here's the thing. Maybe I'm contagious, you know. I was sick this week, but Mitch did say earlier he's starting to see it a little bit my way. Because he's realizing that this statement right here is a massive headache. Just saying. Mitch, you must become unburdened by what has been. So by what has been unburdens you. You know, I'm just saying. That makes total sense, right? It makes total sense. It's like, I always did, but I'm a nice guy. You are a nice guy, Mitch. I know you try to put it on the front of, you know, don't catch these hands and chump and everything like that, and who, but Mitch, overall, you are a very, and that's why you will always be my VP. Even if you were to resign, you will always, like, I would put your VP jersey up in my rafters because that's how important you are, Mitch. Super important, right? And we got my guy in the building. Shout out to... What's good, Junior? What's good? What's happening with you, Junior? How are you doing today? Are you... The question is, Junior, have you been unburdened by what has been so that what has been unburdens you? That's the question. That is the question. I want to know. Have you been unburdened by what has been so what has been unburdens you from what has been being burdened by you? All right, I got lost. I got lost.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I'm just wondering, right? I'm just wondering. Anyways, let's keep going. Let's not get off on a tangent. Let's see. So Ferris trying to get me canceled. We're not going to do that, Ferris. All right. So next up, we got, we're going to our initial jobless claims. You know how we do with the jobless claims. What is a jobless claim? So I think I have it here, but we can pretty much wing it because I'm pretty familiar with that. Let me see if I have it. Jobless claims. All right. So pretty much the jobless, no, not this one. Do I have it here? All right. Anyways, the jobless claims are the number of new filings for unemployment. So people who just got recently laid off, they're asking the government for help, trying to get some unemployment benefits. So let's see what that's all about this week. So we have, this was released on Thursday, July 25th. In the week ending of July 20th, the advanced figures for seasonally adjusted initial jobless claims was 235,000, a decrease of 10,000 from the previous week's revised levels. So now the question is, what was the previous week's revised levels, right? So the previous week's level was revised up by 2,000 from 243,000 to 245,000. So that means last week, 245,000 people were filing for unemployment initially, like they just got laid off, right? So this week we're down to 235, but it's probably going to be revised up to like maybe another 2 to 3,000. It might be 10,000, who knows, right? But that's 235. So last week, 245,000 people applied for unemployment, like brand new people applied for unemployment. This week, 235,000 people applied for unemployment, but it's going to be revised next week. So the economy is totally booming. The 4-week moving average was 235,500, an increase to 250 from the previous week's revised average. The previous week's average was revised up by 500. All right, we're not going to read all those numbers. The advanced seasonally adjusted insured unemployment rate was 1.2% for the week ending July 13th, unchanged from the previous week's unrevised rate. The advanced numbers for seasonally adjusted insured unemployment during the week ending July 13th was 1,851,000, a decrease of 9,000 from the previous week's revised levels. The previous week's revised levels was down 7,000 from 1,867,000 to 1,860,000. The 4-week moving average was 1,850,000. I'm not going to read those numbers. An increase of 4,750 from the previous week's revised levels. This is the highest level for this average since December 4th, 2021. All right. Alrighty then. Let's see. We're at unadjusted data. Let me see. I'm not going to read this one. Let's take a look at the initial claims for UI benefits filed by former federal civilian employees total 473 in the week ending July 13th, an increase of 152 from the prior week. There were 426 initial claims filed by newly discharged veterans, an increase of 66. There were 4,711 continued weeks filed claims by former federal civilian employees the week ending in July 6th. All right, cool. The highest insured unemployment rate in the week ending of July 6th were in New Jersey at 2.8, Rhode Island 2.7, Puerto Rico 2.4, California 2.3, Minnesota 2.2, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania 1.9, Connecticut 1.8, Washington 1.8, Illinois, Nevada, and New York 1.7. The largest increases in initial claims for the week ending of July 13th were in Texas at 11,927, California at 6,284, Georgia at 3,101, Missouri at 2,999, South Carolina at 2,413, while the largest decreases were in Jersey, 1,532, Massachusetts at 1,531. And so you guys, New Jersey just beat Massachusetts by 1. Look at that. Indiana at 1,407, Tennessee at 937, and Iowa at 853. All right. So that is our jobless claims, people who are applying for help for the first time since losing their job, recently getting laid off. All right. Let's see what the chat is saying. And Junior says, not yet unburdened. So Junior is still burdened by what has been. So what about what has not been? Are you unburdened by what has not been? Because we can easily be burdened by what has not been as well, you know? So everything can burden us, you know? So just think about it. Just think about it. At least maybe you're unburdened by what has not been, you know? Big Suggs says, good stuff, coach. Thank you. Thank you, Big Suggs. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
And let's see. Says it went to 245 to 235. Did it? Let me see. It went to. So yeah, it went from two. So last week was 243. It went up to 245, and then this week it went down to 235. So it decreased, but it's probably going to go. They're probably going to revise it to who knows what, you know. So it's going to be revised, right? And it says, so is that 500K plus? 10K. That'd be 10K? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So if you do 245 plus 235, it's almost 500K. Yeah. In the past 2 weeks, it's about 500,000 initial claims. But I mean, that's pretty much what it's been averaging, you know. I don't know I think it's the monthly job report that's going to tell us like who's getting hired and stuff like that. But the weekly ones, it's every week people are getting laid off, as we can see. All right. So what else we got? It says, speak English. This is a burden. I thought I was speaking English, you know, because I don't know. I'm sorry, Ferris. I'm sorry. I'm trying to unburden you, Ferris. I'm trying to unburden you, right? So absolutely burdened by what has not has been also working to make it be. See, look at that. That makes absolute sense. All right. Makes absolute sense. So anyways, if you are trying to become unburdened by what has not been and by what has been to be burdened by what has not been, then do me a favor, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every single time we go live. All right. And if you need one-on-one coaching, maybe you are kind of burdened in your technical career and you're trying to become unburdened by what has not been, which what has not been is your technical career, then go to techcoachralph.dev and let me help yourself to become unburdened by what has not been yet, so that when it has been, you can have a whole different set of burdens to burden you. All right. So techcoachralph.dev, let me help you get unburdened. Okay. So what do we have next? What do we have? We have about 20 minutes to go. Let's see what we have left, right? So we have left we have the durable goods report, right? So let's get to that. The U.S. Census Bureau will release the monthly report on durable goods, which measures manufacturing activity. Let's take a look at that. Okay, let's click here. Manufacturer shipments, inventories, and orders. So the manufacturing shipment, inventories, and orders, the M3 survey provides broad-based monthly statistical data on economic conditions and domestic manufacturing sector. This survey measures current industrial activity and provides an indication of future business trends. So let's take a look at that here real quick. Is that the one I'm looking at? Yes. So, so let's see why this is important. So the U.S. Census Bureau report on durable goods is a monthly report that tells us about how many big, long-lasting items like cars, refrigerators, and computers can be ordered or are being ordered and sold. Durable goods are things that are expected to last at least 3 years. So they're not things like food or clothes that we use up quickly. The report shows whether people or businesses are buying more or fewer of these goods compared to previous months. It's like a snapshot of what's happening in the world of big purchases. This report is important because it gives us clues about how the economy is doing. when people are in business are This report is important because because it gives us clues about how the economy is doing. When people and businesses are buying lots of durable goods, it usually means they're feeling confident about spending money, which can be a sign that the economy is healthy and growing. On the other hand, if they're buying fewer durable goods, it might mean they're worried about the future and saving money instead. Economists, businesses, and the government uses this information to make decisions and plans, just like how you might use your allowance to decide if you can buy a new video game or should save for something else. All right. So let's take a look at this report real quick. All right. So let's see. That's not the one. Is it this one? Yes. All right. So June 2024, durable goods, $264.5 billion on new orders, and it's down 6.6%. Let's dig in a little bit more. So, in July of 2023, it was down 3.1%, and then it was down 0.2% in August of 2023. It was up 2% in September. October of 2023 was down 4.1%. It skyrocketed in November of 2023. I wonder if that's because of like Black Friday, where people are buying like big appliances and stuff like that, TVs, refrigerators, dishwashers, laundry machines and stuff like that. And then it went down in December. Because I guess in December you're buying like more like Christmas gifts and things like that. It went down in January, and then it went up a little bit in February, and then it went up less in March, and then 6.6% in June. Right. So new orders for manufactured durable goods in June down following 4 consecutive monthly increases, decreased 18.6 billion. Or 6.6% to 264.5 billion, the U.S. Census Bureau announced today. This follows a 0.1% May increase, excluding transportation. New orders increased 0.5%. Excluding defense, new orders decreased 7%. Transportation equipment, down 2 of the last 3 months, drove the decrease, 19.6 billion or 20.5% to 75.8 billion. All right. So, but if you look at it, right, does it, like, Mitch, help me out here. Does this mean that the 6.6% decrease totally wipes out any increase that happened in February, March, April, and May by a lot? And this 3.8%, 4.4, does this like totally wipe out the 7.7%? I don't know. Like maybe you can help me with that. Help me out with that, Mitch. But yeah, that's our report on the durable goods, the M3 report. Let's see what else we got going on over here. So we got Howard P in the building. What's good, Howard? How are you doing today? So happy to have you here. I appreciate you, Howard, for being here. And Ferris says, it's hard out here. It is hard out here. All right. All right. So let's continue. We're going to jump into the June's personal consumption expenditure. We got about 12 minutes left. Let's see if we can push through these last two. So, all right. Let's take a look at what the personal consumption expenditure is, and then we will jump into that. All right. So let's go here. Let's go here. All right. So the personal consumption expenditure price index, the PCE price index, is a way to measure how the prices of goods and services that people are buy change over time. Imagine you have a shopping list with things like food, clothing, and toys. If the prices of these items go up, that means the cost of money to buy the same things, which is called inflation. The PCE price index keeps track of these price changes to help us understand how much more or less we are spending to on average over time. It looks at many different products and services that people across the country buy regularly. This index is important because it helps the government, especially the Federal Reserve, make decisions about the economy. When they see that the prices are going up too quickly, they might take action to help control inflation so that people can afford what they need. If prices aren't changing much, it might mean the economy is stable. By watching the PCE price index, we can get a sense of the overall economic health of the country, helping families, businesses, and the government plan for the future. All right. So let's take a look at our PCE. So, so this was released yesterday, July 26th. Personal income increased 50.4 billion, 0.2% at a monthly rate in June, according to estimates released today by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. Disposable personal income, DPI, personal income less personal current taxes increased 37.7 billion, and personal consumption expenditure increased 57.6 billion. The PCE price index increased 0.1%, excluding food and energy. The PCE price index increased 0.2%. Real DPI is disposable personal income, increased 0.1% in June. The real PCE, personal consumption expenditure, increased 0.2%. Goods increased 0.2%, and services increased 0.2%. And this is showing the personal income. It was 0.3% in February, 0.5% in March, 0.2% in April, 0.4% in May, and 0.2% in June. Let's see. And all right, so this here. The increase in current dollar personal income in June primarily reflected increases in compensation and personal current transfer receipts. The 57.6 billion increase in current dollar PCE in June reflected an increase of 53.1 billion in spending for services, and an increase of 4.5 billion in spending for goods. Within services, the largest contributor to the increase were other services led by international travel, and housing, and utilities led by housing. Within goods, the largest contributor to the increase were other non-durable goods led by pharmaceutical and other medical product, and recreational goods and vehicles led by information processing equipment. These increases were partly offset by decreases in motor vehicles and parts led by new motor vehicles and gasoline and other energy goods. Detailed information on the monthly PCE spending can be found in table 2.4.5U. Personal outlays. The sum of PCE, personal interest payments, and personal current transfer payments increased 59.3 billion in June. Personal savings was 703 billion in June, and the personal savings as a percentage of disposable personal income was 3.4%. Let's see, anything else in here that is worth covering? Let's see. Nope, that's about it. That is about it. All right. So that is our PCE. So based on that, the Fed will meet and discuss interest rates and see if we should go lower or if we're going to keep it the same. They're probably going to keep it the same. Some people are estimating one decrease for the year in the percentage and the inflation rate, which they suppose is going to come in September, but we shall see based on the numbers that are going to happen in August. All right. So, let's get to our last one. Right, last one for today. All right, so the University of Michigan will release its final reading on July Consumer Sentiment Index, which measures how Americans feel about current and future economic conditions. So let's, I think I have that one here. So let's go to, what is the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index and why should it matter to us? So the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index is a survey that asks people how they feel about the economy. It gathers information about what people think about their current financial situation, how they feel about spending money, and what they expect for the future. The survey results are combined into an index, which is like a score that shows whether people feel positive, negative, or neutral about the economy. This index is important because it helps people understand how confident people are about spending money. When people feel good about the economy and their own financial situation, they are more likely to buy things like clothes, gadgets, and cars, which helps businesses grow and create jobs. If the index shows that people are worried, they might spend less, which can slow down the economy. Economists and government officials use the information to make decisions about things like interest rates and economic policies, helping them support a healthy economy. We got Maddox in the building, says, good morning, team. Good morning to you as well, Maddox. How are you doing today?
I appreciate you.
Hopefully all is well. So let's get into the personal or the consumer sentiment index from the University of Michigan. So final results for July 2024. All right. So index of consumer sentiment, July 2024, 66.4%, which is down 2.6% from June. Or should it be? So people are feeling less optimistic about the current economy, right? Current economic conditions, 62.7%, which was 65.9% in June, and July of last year, 76.5%. So people were feeling much better. It's still very low, but they were feeling much better, which is the year over year down 18%. And index of consumer expectations, 68.8% of June. So it's higher than July of last year, but it's a little bit lower than June, which could it be because of changing information? Let's see. Right, let's read. Right. So the next data is going to be released August 16th. It's going to be our mid-month, our preliminary August data. So consumer sentiment has remained virtually unchanged the last 3 months. July's reading was statistically insignificant, 1.8 index points below June, well under the margin of error. Sentiment has lifted 33% above the June of 2022 historic low, but it remains guarded by high prices as high prices continue to drag down attitudes, particularly for those with lower incomes. Labor market expectations remain relatively stable, providing continued support to consumer spending. However, continued election uncertainty is likely to generate volatility in the economic attitudes in the months ahead. Year ahead, inflation expectations fell for the second straight month, reaching 2.9%. In comparison, these expectations range between 2.3 to 3% in the 2 years prior to the pandemic. Long-run inflation expectations came in at 3%, unchanged from last month, and remain remarkably stable over the last 2 years. These expectations remain somewhat elevated relative to the 2.2 to 2.6% range seen in the 2-year pre-pandemic. All right. I'm just curious what this says. But.
Money.
What in the world is going on here? We got a super chat from Howard. Let's shout out Howard. All right. Let's shout out. Thank you so much, Howard.
I appreciate you.
Howard says, supporting my interest. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Because I think this information is super valuable for us to understand what's going on. Thank you so much, Howard. You are,
We the best. Let's get it.
we are here to win. We are here to win. So, I'm just curious to see what this says real quick, right? Because I'm curious about how these expectations are changing. So, let's see. See, July 19th. This is so outdated. Do you see how outdated information can become? Can I zoom in on this? Let me see. Who is this guy? Who is this? Like, I have no idea. Like, we haven't seen this person in like a whole month, a whole week. All of a sudden, this is so outdated. Sorry, Joanne, Sue. This is invalid because there is no Biden anymore. There's no Biden. So you're gonna have to update this. Wow, this is crazy. Better for expected to win, 48% red. Better for economy, 40% red. Better for personal finances, 39% red. Crazy, crazy. But this is totally invalid because this person no longer exists. This person right here has been unburdened by what was, and they are now burdened by what used to be. Just saying, it is what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes there are more than one Judases, right? There's more than one Judases, and they will all take the opportunity to stab you in the back. Because once they no longer need you, they do you more dirty than a divorce proceeding when they are trying to take everything. So, as we have a minute left, right? Let's put into perspective what just happened this past week. What happened this past week, right? This past week, there was a divorce that happened in public where the wife, I guess, took all the money, trying to take the house, and put the ex-husband in a mental asylum, said, I never loved you. I never loved you. I never loved you. It's rough. It's rough. Once they turn on you, and now you go on to make a something, and no one has even mentioned your name. You're not even you're not even invited to cheers anymore. No one knows your name anymore. You know, it's hard. It's hard out there. We gotta go. But I hope you guys, never have a friend who does you like the past two vice presidents did their former presidents. I'm just saying, because it used to be that your vice president was ride or die. Now they're the ones who say, no, I don't die, you die. So it sucks, but it is what it is. Patrick Bet-David has a book, Pick Your Enemies Wisely. Pick your enemies wisely, but pick your friends even more closer. We got Jim Carrey. Wait 1 second here. We got Jim Carrey, who just became a subscriber. That I like the mask. I'm just messing. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up. We were told that we have to wrap it up. So we have, let's see. So Mitch says he is shaking his damn head by how they could do you. They do you, like, you know. And Ferris is heartbroken because they do you that way. They're like, we have no need for you. We're going to put you in a nursing home, and we'll send you a card once a year, but just move out the way. They got your money. He got scammed. All these times we're hearing about elderly abuse, right? He got scammed. You know, you ever hear like how these elderly people, they'll end up giving their credit card to some scammer or their account, and they get scammed out of $80,000? If you haven't heard, check out Pocket Watching with JT, because he'll show how people are getting scammed and stuff like that. But instead of $80,000, he got scammed out of $100 million. He got the president got scammed out of $100 million. Pick your friends wisely. All right. I'm just saying. Pick your friends wisely. You know. It can happen. It can happen. What? Foxy Brown and Nas had the song. Watch them people who are close to you. Make sure they do what they're supposed to do, Because they be the same ones who be thinking about smoking you. All right. That is what we just saw on public display earlier this week. All right. Earlier this week. What divorce was this? It happened throughout the week in public. It says, I'm so misinformed on the social media. Ferris, the president was unburdened by what was and is now burdened by what is being done. All right. And it is my pleasure, Big Sugs, to hang out with you guys, share this information, hopefully add value to you. And this is you and your car do me dirty. See, but at least, Mitch, we do it to your face. You know, so we are your friendly neighborhood enemies. We're not gonna like butter you up and then as the bus is coming, we just push you, right? See, that's what they do in New York. You just be standing at the subway, they just push you in front of the train, and it's terrible. See, we'll not do that to you, right? We'll let you know that, hey, Mitch, the bus is coming, and we might be thinking about pushing you, so be careful, right? So I'm just saying. And Ferris says, wait, what? You didn't know what? You didn't know that there's a new nominee for president? Says we're cooked. We are cooked. Or baked. Says, I'd rather an honest enemy than a sneaky friend. That's what I'm talking about. Or is that honest enemy actually your friend? And is that sneaky friend actually your enemy? See, there you go. And Junior says, to your face. See, I think my enemies who tell me the truth, they might be more my friend than my friends who don't tell me the truth. Those might be more my enemies. Right? Who knows? Maybe I'm just rebirthing because I was unburdened and now I think I'm rebirthing myself. Right. So let's just stop right here. We're going to end it. I have a question for you guys on the way out. The question is, well, the first question is, have you liked the video? Have you shared the video? Have you subscribed to the channel? Right? If you haven't, then do me a big favor. Let's go ahead and do that. Now, the question is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I had so much fun with you guys today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Junior, Howard with the super chat. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Big Suggs in the building. Thank you, Ferris, my guy Ferris. And the one, the only Mitch. I appreciate you all. And we're going to get out of here. But you guys know, especially on Money Saturdays, the question or the statement, because yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is not tomorrow's price because...
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is going up. And on that note, we're going to get out of here. There's not going to be many live streams this coming week, or not going to be any, except for Monday. I'm going to be helping out Joseph to fill in for our good friend Trey. But other than that, no live streams. We'll be back the following Monday for our morning live stream. And on that note, we are out. Have an amazing Saturday, friends.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Thank you for your patronage.